shit. Yeah, this is lights out. For my brothers, get your whole fam wiped out. For my fam, get your whole universe destroyed. Take your face off, all cast Detroit. I'm a disaster boy, extinction level asteroid. Impact smash noise, born in the black void. So shit, he ain't know who he's facing. I cheese grade him, get savage, that's the TNathan. No patience like they shut down the hospital. Wins against me is not possible, not probable. Man, it's all illogical. I've been sick. This shit is chronicle. Hands behold them. The face shows how we hold them. Y'all keep making noise trying to get noticed. Y'all can't see me. You got no focus. I show up, they disappear. Hocus pocus, war, no respect. When your boys come to sweat. When I call on already from 41 select. Target select, target acquisition. When them shells rain down, you look like a bad car collision. Come get it, come with it. I beat them into submission or play it safe and hit them from some distance. Long range, close range, however I deliver. Shit, you're gonna remember. I go for kill shots, not to injure. Man, these bars got no hold. Show them how to use the flow. Man, you can't move the flow. They stay pissed off, cause I'm pissed hard. I launch rocket raccoons. Down to
Skittles. Hit them with my missile, blow they spaceship the fuck up, decapitate Russian sick. Uh, ravishing rock rude, disrespectful nigga, haka loopy, you penny fool. Shit. Far from a small fry, knuckle up two black guys from black guys. Listen, man. Bust flames I don't miss. No game long range, turn your dome to red. Miss me.
Greetings, salutation. Welcome to Conversations with TNathan, July the 15th, 2024. Yeah, I just wanted to get into it. Um, Today was the first day of the Legion of Doom convention in Madison, Wisconsin. Legion of Doom? Oh, you all probably call it the Republican National Convention. I call it the Legion of Doom. Greetings, greetings, everyone, wherever you're listening to me at. GCPR Network, welcome all over the world. I know you're listening. Also across all my social media platforms, except my main TikTok page, where I have been suspended because of how I chose to cover the little incident that happened Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. When now, well, still have a little ways to go. The presumptive Republican nominee for president was almost assassinated. So they didn't like the way I handled that, and therefore they gave me a violation until July the 21st, I believe. We'll be back on July the 21st over on my main page, but everywhere else we're doing the damn thing. So today, I spent most of the day. For those of you all can see the background, you can see I still have it on. I've been watching the Republican National Convention, or as I like to call it, the Legion of Doom Convention, and it did not disappoint in its horror for me. We also got the announcement today that the vice presidential candidate that will be running on the ticket with Donald Trump is none other than a senator from Ohio, um, Senator from Ohio, J.D. Vance, or as I like to call him, Grand Wizard of the Clan of Ohio. Um, which was an interesting choice. My first choice that he was going to pick was going to be Doug, but I should have known that he wasn't going to pick the governor of North Dakota after. And I think he would have picked Doug Burnham, but Burgum, the governor of North Dakota, if Saturday wouldn't have happened. I think he went with J.D. Vance because, and there he is. J.D. Vance in that interview was saying he was a never Trumper, by the way. But J.D. Vance is going to say the parts that Donald Trump and his new image is not going to say. So it made sense once I thought about it after what happened on Saturday that, and I also knew when J.D. Vance was the only one of those candidates who earlier this morning was picked up his house by a motorcade. Yeah, I knew then that J.D. Vance was going to be the pick because he was picked up at his house by a motorcade, and he is at the Republican National Convention or the Legion of Doom Convention. Now, um, what? So, hold on for just a minute. Your live is not eligible for recommendation appeal. Yeah, they just gave me a restriction on one of my platforms on my backup page on TikTok. I don't know, but so greetings and salutations. Shout out to some of my followers like Raven, Black Historian, Jeremy. What's up? It shouldn't have been me. Oh, Penelope, greetings, salutation. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for jumping in and supporting. Have any questions? I'm going to get to them. Ask away. Like I say, I watched the Legion of Doom convention today, and it was a horror show. It was a horror show, but let me tell you this. Democrats, y'all need to get on your game because the optics today at the Republican National Convention were on point. For the first time since receiving, and the other two times, Donald Trump didn't do what he did today. He has showed up on the first day of the convention. The first day of the convention, Donald Trump showed up. And not only did he showed up with a bandage on his ear and tears in his eye as he came out. And he didn't even say anything. He just came out, walked down the corridor with his new tan, with his bandage on his ear, tears glistening in his eyes, people standing up, and he sat down, and he sat down by J.D. Vance and Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, and their wives, respective wives, and it was everything I would like to see in a horror show that Democrats are not addressing. Yeah, it was everything. Yeah, it was like watching the Stepford Wives Men Club, and it was that bad. It was that bad as far as for what I was seeing, because I know what I was seeing, but man, it was impactful for what the Democrats are going to have to do at their national convention on the first day, and also the images, because this is plain across. He used eye drop for the tears. uh, Black historian is not playing right. She's not giving an inch. Well, whatever he used it before he came out there, and the people, they loved it. They loved it. They ate it up. They stood up for this man, and he just was so. He was. It was so. It's funny in a way, but I know most people that didn't watch it because it makes me. I always wonder how people are having all these political conversation and all these lives for hours on end, and they never watch C-SPAN, or I never hear them talk about the events of the day or listen to the events of the day. I always wondered that. I was like, I don't have time to go live sometime because I'm actually trying to take in the news or the different points of view of what I'm going to talk about. But I see people just be talking, and that blows me out the water because they don't read books and they don't watch the news unfurl. And I just be wondering sometimes, how do you all know what you're talking about? But this imaging today, yeah, I was watching it and I was like, damn, this is going to be a problem. Yep, this is going to be a problem, a big problem. And I don't think people are prepared to deal with it. Yeah, I don't. I think they're bogged down in other things instead of focusing on the point. The point that the Democrats need to be focusing on is strategy, which you all are horrible at. Y'all haven't shown me a good strategy since 1972. Yeah, that's why Roe versus Wade was never codified into law, because strategy was missing and optics. every optic the Democratic Party, the Republican Party put on today was a perverse show of strength and Rocky Raccoonery. Because also tonight, I'm gonna get into this was the first night of the Legion of Doom convention, and they had their black men on display. Yep, they had their black men on display. They had John James, a Republican representative from Michigan. They had Tim Scott, who I'm coming back to Tim Scott. I'm putting Tim Scott last because I want to come back to him. They had Tim Scott, of course, from Senator of South Carolina. They had Wesley Hunt, a representative from Texas. All y'all from Texas, I know who Wesley Hunt is, right? And they had Mark Robinson, who is the lieutenant governor of South Carolina and the Republican nominee for governor. Sorry about that. He's the nominee for governor. And it was a shit show if ever you've seen a shit show, right? Because it's yeah, it's a shit show. It was a Rocket Raccoonery Fest. And then Mark Robinson, I'm sorry, if I said Johnson, I meant Mark Robinson, Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina and the GOP presumptive nominee for governor of North Carolina in the next race. All right, anyway, Rocket Raccoons to their heart. And each one of them got up there and did their shucking and jiving and glizzy swallowing, and it was sickening. Yeah, it was sick. Where we at? Where we at? Yeah. Um, yeah. And then Amber Rose, for you all who don't know, Amber Rose also spoke at the Republican National Convention. You know, Amber Rose, she was formerly, I think she was married. Wasn't she married to Kanye West? Wasn't she married? I know they were dating, and she married some other. And she's the founder of an organization that is supposed to be dedicated towards empowering women, the LGBTQ community, and handling discrimination and derogatory use of labeling in those communities. And she came out and said she feels safe with Donald Trump. That's what she said. She said that she feels safe with Donald Trump. Nope, just dating, but she got the bag from. Okay, she did. She was dating Kanye West. I stand corrected. I think I said she was married to him. Well, I forgot. She did marry one of those rappers, right? She married one of them. But anyway, yep, she was. She spoke at the Republican National Convention or the Legion of Doom convention, and endorsed Donald Trump and said he makes her feel safe. The man and the man who was found guilty of assaulting E. Jean Carroll and inappropriately touching her in a dressing room in Macy's, and she feels safe with him. A man who said on tape, when you're rich, you can do what you want to them, they'll let you grab them, and this is who you feel safe. Who is this on here now? Oh, that's James. That's Representative John James that I was talking about. They're showing clips from speeches of Black Man Night Out at the Legion of Doom convention. Many times today they said VP Harris and President Biden. They said it out of order to emphasize Harris. Yes, they did. And they look, JD Vance is not ready to be on a debate stage with Kamala Harris. I said it. I've seen JD Vance talk too much, then I know he is not ready to be on a stage at a debate with Kamala Harris. And I don't think we should have another presidential debate as long as Joe Biden is the nominee. I think we just should say we're going to turn that debate in September into a vice presidential debate. I know somebody mad at me right now for saying that, but that's the way that's the way it should be. It should just be a vice presidential debate, and Kamala Harris should show you why you might not like her. You might not like her, but that prosecutor is going to run circles around JD Vance's racist talking points. Yeah, I said it, and I want to moderate. I'm gonna do fact checking in real time. I want to moderate. Someone needs to put me on a moderation table because I'm a fact check them in real time. And JD Vance is going to get up there. And like tonight, I wish I could have streamed the primetime section of of this Legion of Doom convention, because number one, Trump did not have the best economy in the history of presidents in this country. They kept saying that. They kept saying that. They disregarded the figures they're quoting about inflation and rising prices are from 2022. Nobody wanted to point that out. And I do admit, the American people are yeah, you sometimes I wonder where they get their information from, because they're saying things and it's like, yes, if you're talking about your mortgage payment and your rental costs and all that, that is still so stubbornly high. But inflation in all other areas has dropped. The reason it's still at I think it's 2.2% is because of housing. But inflation has dropped. I I do it. I compare receipts to this time last year. I see them down, see gas prices, whether they're down. But nobody, you all are too busy talking about something else instead of talking about the real facts that you need to tell people and need to push as part of the talking points to the common everyday man. Good evening, Petra. Good evening, Angel. Good evening, anybody I missed. I got you all up here, and I have to look up here because I don't know where I put YouTube. YouTube, I'm sorry. I will pull you up. Hold on. I knew I forgot somebody. I forgot YouTube. Yeah, yeah. Let me get YouTube in the conversation. My bad, YouTube. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I got you. I got you. All right, comment section. All right, there we go. All right, got it now. Dun dun dun. Okay, so that is the like I say, and there's Amber Rose. That's Amber Rose. I found out she just dated Kanye and got the bag from him, so I stand corrected. I thought they were married. Um, Greetings and salutations, Chief of Security. You're only 19 minutes late, but luckily I shoot back. Luckily I shoot back. Like I said, I'm not on my main page on TikTok tonight because I've been suspended to the 21st because of my coverage of the attempted assassination attempt of Donald Trump. They didn't like the way I covered it, so they gave me a community guideline violation, and I have been suspended to the 21st on there. And they're probably not gonna like the way I cover the Legion of Doom convention either, but it is what it is. Legion of Doom convention, or you all call it the Republican National Convention, that kicked off today in Madison. And on the first day of the convention, who shows up? Cheeto Man himself shows up with his, you all had to see it. I know Shay would have killed herself laughing, but Shay is special. Shay and I would kill ourselves laughing, but we have to take into consideration the optics for what he did. The first day, and of course, I watched it on the BBC, I watched it on CNN. I got CNN, BBC, C-SPAN. I got all them going, and I'm looking at the difference in coverage of how different stations cover it, MSNBC. And I look at the different ways they cover it, and each one of them said basically the same thing, that Trump shows up at RNC on the first night, that he hasn't done since he's been the nominee. This is the third time he's been the nominee for the party, and he's never showed up on the first night. And tonight, he rode the wave of publicity. So that's been going on ever since Saturday. Ever since Saturday. BBC, BBC. Yeah, stop it. Stop it. It's the British Broadcast Channel. Stop it. Whatever you all got going on, it's the British Broadcast Channel. BBC One and BBC Two. I also watch Doctor Who on there, but that's another story for another day. Say, what did I just miss? BP, British Petroleum. Yeah, BBC. Yeah, what is? Oh, oh, I get it. I'm slow. Yeah, okay. I get it now. I get it. I get why they were laughing at me now. But yeah, I'm just gonna say the British Broadcast Company, okay, channel. Oh yeah, I'm stopping. Yeah, that was the B and the other B and the C that I was talking about. I gotta put all kinds of stuff in between here. But yeah, and the difference, and they all were saying President Trump shows up after assassination attempt on his life Saturday. Now, let's get down into what I was talking about to some people earlier today, right? And a lot of people don't like it. I know a lot of people don't like it because I tell Democrats sometimes you all are more interested in trying to prove you're right than actually trying to win offices and protect the rights and privileges of marginalized people. I think sometimes Democrats, you all have this moral high ground that is only high ground in some reality far, far away. You all are not really willing to do what you say you're willing to do to win elections. That's why you all, when you do win, you squeak by, and then you don't have strategies on long-term plans. Now, stop saying that Donald Trump staged his assassination attempt. You sound like conspiracy theories. You have no proof of that. And you sound just like what we spent the last 4 or 5 years talking about MAGA. You sound like the same people who say the election was stolen with no proof. You sound like the same people. If anything, hold off, win the White House, win the Senate, win Congress, and then you can go off on all of those conspiracy theories, and the rest of us will take over from there. But the conspiracy theory is not helping your cause. It's only making you look like that's what you say you don't want to be. And you know, I remember my mother telling me that. Be careful of what you do as far as who you don't like, that you don't become them. And some of you all are becoming the very thing you say you don't want to become. Yep, be mad, don't be mad, argue with your mama, don't argue with me. Because at the end of the day, that echo chamber that you all having those conversations in are not moving the needle at all. Because some of you all are only in echo chambers while I'm out there in the public and talking to people every day. And then there's what I'm telling them that is getting through is that, hey, Thomas Matthew Crooks was a registered and active Republican. I'm watching the Democrats concede ground to Republicans talking about rhetoric and the rhetoric that is going on, and somehow that's the reason that Donald Trump got shot. No, Donald Trump got shot by a registered Republican. That's Republican on Republican crime. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. Republican on Republican crime. And I don't see why you all don't have a strategy understanding to understand that should be, you should lean into that. You should counter their argument about Democrats being charged up and all that. Nope, wasn't a Democrat that went on top of that building with an AR-15 styled weapon and fired 4 shots into a crowd, killing one man, injuring 2 others, and somehow leading to Donald Trump's ear bleeding. Yeah. What? Did I stutter? Y'all don't like that. I just lost 50 people. I just lost 50 people when I said that. See, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. You all are more interested in trying to prove some little echo chamber point than you are on having a strategy of how to reach the people. Y'all don't need to reach the people y'all talking to about your conspiracy theories. Y'all all in the same boat. Y'all in the same echo chamber. Y'all don't need to reach each other. All of y'all have decided you're all voting for Joe Biden anyway. So how are you all not reaching out to the people who are looking at this like, wow, at least we didn't expect you all to start sounding like MAGA supporters. Yeah, if you win the White House, the Senate, and you can do all the investigation you want to. So, most of you all have never been shot and never been anywhere where bullets have been fired out in public. And all y'all shootings come from watching movies. Because I can tell by how you all say, well, why did they do this? Why did they do that? You've never been in a crowd and been shot at. Yeah, in bleachers. See, I've been to games. I've been to football games in high school where gunshots rung out. And I could tell the people who knew what gunshots were and the people who didn't know what gunshots were. The people who didn't know what gunshots were, they were slow to react. The people who knew what gunshots were, they realized we can't just run willy-nilly in all directions on the bleachers. I know. And people be talking about what I would do. I want to say, bitch, shut up so bad. I be wanting to tell people that because you've never been in a situation and you only think that way because you've been watching too much The Wire on HBO. Yeah, that's why. Okay, what did I miss? I missed the comments. Let's see. Did I miss any comments? You're wasting time denying it, right? But I understand what you're saying. Good, cat. Good. Um, it's not worth the energy to deny because the results are all right. Matters, right? And so stop that. It amazes me how people will talk about how people respond to grief and other things, right? But they then superimpose everything about them. Now, them people wasn't black. And most of them were white. Most of them were white in rural America. And the idea that a gunshot that started at 164 yards away in a rally, not only that, I think I pulled up the picture. I showed you all the picture. Did I show you all the picture of what it looked like there? I think I put that up. Dun, dun, dun. I go find it. But I think I put that up. The picture of how it actually looked and how many yards it was away over a football field. And then the drunk white boys, the drunk white boys, well, we were yelling and no one heard us. They probably thought you were drunk ass white boys. Yeah, drunk ass white boys. I have an argument that is rooted in logic for everything you all are trying to prove. And you all are still leaning into it, doing the work of the Republicans for them. Because the Republicans are saying this is because of Democratic rhetoric, and you're responding that it was set up. And that those two arguments, they're winning. They're winning because they're not sounding like MAGA supporters usually sound. They sound like they're listening to logic. I've been in crowds with gunshots. I hit the ground and was lucky not to get trampled. Exactly, ambitious. And this was a good, and plus, it's bleachers, people. All you all talk about, you, two things. Excuse me. It's bleachers, and a lot of those people can't hear. A lot of those old people can't hear anyway. They didn't hear, like y'all say, well, why they didn't? They didn't hear the gunshots. The gunshots oriented. They heard the shots of Secret Service when they fired and took off the active Republican 20-year-old gun club member's head off. They heard that. They heard that. But shots whizzing in from 164 yards away, it wasn't like he was firing a cannon. Hello? Wasn't firing a cannon. So I want you all to think about your arguments and hold them to after Election Day when the Democrats win the House, the Senate, and the presidency. I need you all to come up with a strategy that works past your self-interest. And your self-interest is not in the interest of winning an election. I know it's hard to swallow that pill, but at the end of the day, your self-interest is more about seeming like you're the smartest person in the room, and you're not. Making a conspiracy theory argument, because it's a conspiracy theory at this fact, because you have no facts to back it up. But what we do have is that the shooter was an active Republican, 20 years old, belonged to a gun club, bought 50 rounds of ammunition that day. He was a Zionist Jew, and why aren't y'all leaning into that? Why aren't y'all leaning into that? Let me see. Why are we not leaning into that? Let me see if I can find some comments on why. Did they find a motive yet, or is it still unknown? The motive is he was an active Republican, and everything from there is like this Republican on Republican crime. Y'all need to work it out. Y'all don't want gun control? Well, this is what you do. But Democrats, no Democrats were at this rally. No Democrats were at the rally, so yeah, no Democrats had guns in their hands shooting at the president. Yeah, I know. I understand. You all don't want to make those arguments because another thing, Democrats, y'all say, we don't want to seem uncaring and unempathetic. I'm telling you, I didn't like you yesterday. I don't like you the day after your mama died. I didn't like you while your mama was dying. I don't like you tomorrow. We're still enemies. We're still enemies. I don't care what you've been through. As a matter of fact, I need to know who to send a check to for putting you through hard times. Yeah, I'm making donations. What else? What else we got? Red on red crime is getting bad. Red on red, I was sure they say Antifa. They are. They're going to say it because we're going to let them say it. And we're not going to push back against it. We're going to be too busy arguing it didn't happen instead of saying, you know what? I don't think that this 20-year-old who was a registered Republican who came up in a predominantly white, well-to-do neighborhood was an Antifa member. Yeah, I saw that at first, and I was like, yeah, I'm not. I wasn't buying it once I figured out and I delved into his card, found out he's a registered Republican at 20. Yeah, well-to-do family with an AR-15. That's how people feel about Trump. Yeah, Republican problem. You hit the nail on the head. Thank you. Thank you. What's up, Miss Metal Melter? Yes, exactly. And everybody out here arguing otherwise is arguing on the side of the Republicans. Because and then let me tell you how weak Democrats are. Let me tell you how weak y'all are. Y'all are hypocrites too. Because all of a sudden everyone's talking about, well, I didn't want this and I didn't want that. You don't know how many of y'all I've heard say what y'all wanted. And now all of a sudden, but that lets me know y'all look at you all suspect. I look at you all suspect during the revolution. I'm looking at you all sideways now because all of a sudden I realize what you all are saying, you don't mean. You're just huffing and puffing. You're just huffing and puffing, and you're just trying to look good for friends because a lot of you all are showing me that you're weak as ice water without any ice. Y'all know how weak ice water without any ice is, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. Romance and get on. Yeah, I got my chief of security. He's taking care of business up there. But that's the thing. So if you all are that weak, I watched Republicans pull ads off of television. You all pull, I didn't see sorry. I watched Democrats pull ads off television Saturday afternoon. I didn't see any Republicans pulling any ads. I didn't. And you all want to talk about the temperature. Let's turn down the temperature. Excuse me, President of the United States. What? Where were the Republicans calling for this downward temperature turn when Mark Robinson was on stage at a church calling for violence against liberals, against gay people? Where was this at? Where was all this turning down when they were where was this turning on when Sarah Palin put targets on Democrats' back in a campaign ad? What? Where was the turning down at then? I missed that. Where was the turning down at all these rallies? Oh, y'all might didn't watch all the rallies I did. That they were talking about revolution and civil war. Where was this turning down when Donald Trump said to the Proud Boys, what? Stand by. What were they standing by for? The Proud Boys are not secretarial pool assistants. But now, all of a sudden, because I said, y'all are weak, y'all definitely are weak. You're weak and have no strategy. Fight me. Yeah, and you all of a sudden you think you can fight me better than you can the Republicans. You will fight with me about saying it instead of getting a backbone and doing what needs to be done. And I'm actually trying to help you do what you need to do. I feel like we need a training montage. We need to break out, and y'all need to be running up the steps in Philadelphia of Liberty Bell Tower so you all can get in shape for what's ahead because a lot of you all are not prepared. A lot of you all are so used. See, you can be intellectual and other at the same time. Because I don't see a lot of you all at the same protests. I'm just saying. A lot of you all that I see in these chat rooms, I don't see at protests. And I see a lot of my supporters at protests. I just don't see you all, I just don't see some of you all heading these chats at protests. I don't see you all doing voter registration. I don't see you all doing the very things. Please somebody tell me they don't see me doing road. I got the videos to prove it. Everything I say, I can back up. So here we go. As a matter of fact, I got Metal in here, and Metal has come and gone with me and done things. Yeah, say hello to Nick. And then I got Miss Metal in here, who is ready to fight. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's rare I have to go with somebody that I feel like I'm gonna have to hold them back before I'm about to be held back. But this is what we do, and this is real. See, a lot of you all have gotten in these pseudo echo chambers, and you think you're talking about real issues. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm putting together right now. I'm putting together a video I'm doing, and I'm asking people in the street the top 3 things they are concerned. I'm not going to ask them who they're voting for because I don't want to get in a fight in the video. But I'm asking them, what are the top 3 issues that are determining how you vote in the next election? Anybody want to get to guess so far what the number 1 issue is people are talking to me about? Anybody? Anybody want to guess the top issue that people are talking about as a voting issue for them? Jazz, somebody give Jazz a donation. Somebody put your cash app up for Jazz, and somebody send Jazz a donation. In every kind of way, it relates back to the economy. It relates back to the economy. If it's gas prices, if it's food prices, if it's trying to figure out how their elderly grandmother is going to pay for food and medication on her fixed income, those are the things they're talking about. Guess what the number 2 issue is? We're going to pay economics. All economics falls under the first one. Guess what the number 2 issue is? Cost of food is under economics. All that's going to be under economics. I'm going to tell you, I say number 2, but most of the time, all 3 of them are related to economics. All 3 of those one, but when I'm taking economics as one class, anybody want to guess what the number 2 issue is? Immigration. And you know how long it remains the number 2 issue? Until I spout facts about immigration. That's nothing you'll see in the video. When I start talking about the facts of immigration as opposed to what they're heard about immigration, you know what they do? They say, you know what? You're right. It's not our issue. It's not. When I start talking about the facts as opposed to what they're telling me, it becomes a whole different conversation. It becomes a whole different conversation. Because when I start telling them that, yeah, no, immigrants don't commit more crime than American citizens do, when I tell them you have a better chance of getting mugged, robbed, murdered, killed, all those other crimes by an American than you do an immigrant coming across the border into this country. When I tell them that none of the money that is being spent on the constitutional imperative of how we're supposed to treat immigrants, in accordance with the United Nations Charter we signed on immigration, none of the money spent on that would be going to you. None of it is being taken from you. I point out to them that all the rhetoric they've heard about veterans not being given money so immigrants could be given money, I say is a lie. And the military is even telling you it's a lie. See, I meet them where they are. We meet where they are. Number 3, because I have a lot of women around me. What's this issue? What's this issue? What's the number 3 issue? First time in 4 years, I actually caught a TNathan live. Welcome, everybody. Station identification, because I know I'm long-winded right now. I usually be on play to break, but you're listening to TNathan's Conversations with TNathan on the GCPR network and across all my social medias except my main TikTok page, because I have been suspended on my main TikTok page till July the 21st. Because they didn't like the way I covered the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Yep, that's why I was suspended. Nothing. All right. How long have I been live? I've been live for 39 minutes right now. I got 21 more minutes to kill on the radio, and I might take the live longer. It depends on where we're at. But my radio show, I have 21 more minutes left, but we'll talk about some issues. Who wants to guess the number 3 issue? Before abortion comes crime. Before abortion comes crime. Crime is the number 3 issue that people are talking to me about. Yes, crime. And I'm going to say, I'm actually going to say when I think about it, when I'm talking, if I look at my numbers, crime is higher amongst white people than it is among others. So it's a general category, but it's higher among white people more concerned about crime than black and brown people are concerned about crime. But it's a general concern, and it's a general concern, but it's different kinds of crime also. It's different kind of crimes. And when we talk about crime and policing, we have a whole nother conversation to go through. Because white people are not even the victims of crime, and they're more concerned about crime than people who have been victimized by crime more, and that's not their greatest concern either. So, crime. Next, I think white people of a certain age are concerned about crime. Yeah, exactly. And of that certain age, they're more concerned about what they have been led to believe about crime. They're scared. And they're scared because nobody's having a conversation about crime in their area or in their life. They're just seeing these crimes being committed, even if they're hundreds of miles away from them. But they all feel unsafe because of the rhetoric, and nobody's addressing the rhetoric because we're talking too much about something else. But we'll get to that in a moment. Abortion is fourth. Abortion, because and you'd be surprised. The conversation surrounding abortion is linked into women's rights. I say abortion, but they actually are just feeling like, women are feeling like they have fewer rights in this society today than their mothers and grandmothers did. And that's a talking point you all should be selling. You should be selling that talking point and explaining that is going to get worse. That is going to get worse. Can you imagine if a state like Louisiana or a person like J.D. Vance, who has a no abortion stance, and don't fall for the belief that the Republican Party is, because they released a new platform ahead of this Legion of Doom convention they're having, don't fall for the softening stance they're supposed to have on these issues. It is a misnomer. Let me go to some questions. Why is my daughter fighting the same fight her grandmother already fought and won? Exactly. You know why? Because somebody failed to codify these things into law when they had the opportunity. And that's a fair discussion. And you must make sure that that's why we have these discussions and tell these people, we're going to support you, but this is what you need to do for our support. That's the conversation. And that's the conversation I don't understand why people don't want to hear us make. I don't want to hear, people will talk to me about my stances on the Democratic Party. It's like, oh, just be quiet. I am not going to be quiet. I don't know who you got, who you thought. Yeah, revolution. I had someone ask me, what revolutionary? What revolutionary you know? Who out here doing the revolutionary work? Yeah, that was insulting. Because who out here doing the work? I'm not just talking the talk. So when you get down to it, if not, James Baldwin said, how long must we wait? If not now, then when? People are motivated by change when things are going bad. When things are going their way, they don't need us. They don't need us they didn't need black women for 4 years after they won the election. After they won the election in 2020 and they said black women saved them, black women didn't get, I think y'all stats are worse now than they were 4 years ago. How do we get those rights back and then codify them? Because it's not enough It's not enough just to win the presidency. It's the same reason I talk to when people talking about third parties. I said, number one, no third party candidate is going to get on enough ballots to get anywhere near 2 electoral college votes, more or less 270. Like it or not. See, I deal in facts. I don't deal in what I feel. I deal in facts. And the facts of this moment is the best independent candidate out there is going to be Robert Kennedy Jr., RFKJ. That's going to be the best one. And he's not going to get 270 votes because even his Kennedy family don't support him. So that's the best one. Ross Perot, I don't know if y'all remember Ross Perot. Ross Perot had the best showing of a third party candidate in an election. Guess how many electoral college votes he got? Guess how many electoral college votes did Ross Perot get? I'm going to wait for this one. Somebody tell me how many, ring in, text me, do something. Somebody tell me how many electoral college votes did Ross Perot get? Stop it. Stop it. I want you to go pull up that 200. If I want you to go show me 200 electoral college votes. Google is your friend. I'm going to let you all use Google. Anybody, Google it. Has anybody got to zero yet? Okay, Google, how many electoral college votes did Ross Perot get?
I didn't understand.
Oh, man, Google didn't understand zero either. Zero. Zero. I didn't really need Google. I knew Google wouldn't understand because I was alive. Zero. How many electoral college votes do you believe your favorite third party candidate is going to get in the next election? Welcome, Olivia. I see you. The chief of security here, he got it too. How many, as a matter of fact, put all your third party candidates together. How many electoral college votes you think they would get? If they just created a Zord, y'all know what a Zord is? Anybody know what a Zord is? No, you don't know. You're not science fiction nerds. If you just merge them all together and bring all their support together, how many electoral college votes do you think they'll get? How many ballots do you think they would make it on? Y'all want to have a real conversation? Let me tell you, third party candidates, if you're not doing it at the local level, don't talk to me every 4 years. I don't want to hear from you. If you're not working on your local level to win office and build a grassroots around you, don't come at me asking me for my support every 4 years. Jill Stein, sit down somewhere. Jill Stein, sit down. Anybody know Jill Stein, the governor of any state? She the mayor of any state? She on the city council of some state? Sit down. Sit down. I'm not even, people have reached out to me too. Oh, I would like to talk to you and on a, no, I'm not putting your platform on here to distract from the strategy I am building so we can fight who we need to fight on November 5th. If you want to run for office and you want my support, start somewhere where I find you're believable. Believable. I know what a Zoid is. Yeah. If I was running for president, I get a 300 what? Electoral college votes? And another thing, you can't even buy 270 electoral college votes as a 7. People are like, oh, all you need is money. Ross Perot was richer than any candidate he ran against. I mean, billionaire Ross Perot. And he couldn't buy 270 electoral college votes. I get tired of y'all sometimes when y'all say stuff like that and don't understand that that's not how it works. But did you hear that Elon Musk, but advertising on the other hand, Elon Musk, after J.D. Vance was announced as Donald Trump's running mate, pledged $45 million a month to Donald Trump's campaign and the RNC. $45 million a month. The world's richest man has just pledged $45 million a month from now until election day to the Republican, to Donald Trump's campaign. You feel sick now? You feel sick knowing that while Democrats, large Democratic donors are withholding their money until you all put somebody else at the top of the ticket. I know y'all glad. I get it. You're glad. You're glad that the conversation has shifted to Donald Trump and the Republican National Convention, and you actually believe that everybody is not talking anymore. But I'm gonna let you believe what you want to. But the world's richest man just declared the world's richest man whose father was a racist apartheid supporter in South Africa. Y'all know Elon Musk is from South Africa, right? And his father was a proponent of apartheid. Yeah, that man, he has pledged $45 million a month to Donald Trump's campaign. What you, what you got? What you got? How you feel? How you feel now? Oh, how you feel now? Yeah. If you putting my cash app up because I feel if Elon Musk can commit $45 million a month to that work and you all getting this for free, this is my cash app. Help me help those who help others. That's what I'm asking. Help me help those who help others because they're showing you what they believe in. You all like to hear about the work we do in the homeless community and with others, but very few of you all actually put your money where your mouth is. Very few of y'all actually do what you say you're gonna do. Y'all just talk. Yeah, y'all just talk. But anyway, you can leave that up there. Getting back to the conversation. Um, and did I say okay? We went through economy. We talked about crime. We talked about birth. We talked about birth, death, and but I wanted to get to what they never talked to me about. Who can guess what they never asked me about? And I'm talking about helping register people to vote, talking to volunteers, talking to people that suffer from food insecurities that are not homeless. These are registered voters. Guess what none of them have asked me about in the last couple of months that we've been doing this. Yes. People anybody? What's the app adding? Um, Chief of Security, would you drop that in that live you're in, please, one of y'all? And if y'all can't read it, can you read it now? Hold on. Dun dun dun. Hey, is that better? Can it's $ Lokius LOKIUS 2473. That's the cash out. Got it? Got it. Thank you. Anybody? And while you all think about that, let me talk about one thing I want to all start pushing to people that have children. Instead of talking about the disbandment of the Department of Education, which do you all realize? I realized something that people did not know because they were talking about, well, they want to disband the Department of Education. How long do you think the Department of Education has been a cabinet position? How long do you all think the Department of Education has been a cabinet level, um, the Secretary of the Education? How long do you think that that cabinet post has existed? Anybody? How long do you think that cabinet post has existed? I'm waiting. I'm gonna give you a hint. I'm way older than the Department of Education's cabinet position. As a matter of fact, when the Department of Education's cabinet position was created, I think I was 13. 13. Yeah, I was 13. Jimmy Carter administration was the first administration to have a cabinet level official for the Department of Education in 1980. Yeah, you can check it out. You can check me out. I don't mind. So when you all talk about that, I'll be like, hmm. And then I heard somebody try to compare what Project 2025 is talking about with the Department of Education to what that guy in Germany did in the 1930s with their education. And actually, what the guy in Germany did is closer to what is in Agenda 47 with the American Academy. American Academy, look it up, Agenda 47. And it's about the indoctrination of basically American youth under the American Academy system. And if anything, has anybody read 1984 by George Orwell? See, I just be going off on these tangents because all these tangents are linked together. So, have anybody read 1984 to know what double speech is? Anybody know what double speech is? Yeah, it won't. I don't know. TikTok does weird things now. I had to change my beacon link because they wouldn't let it be activated, and I found out they didn't like me having charities. But I kept the charities. I found out how to keep them in there, so they're in there for now. I don't know what'll happen later, but they're in there for now. But double speech. Anybody know what double speech is? Spark Notes version. Yeah, 1984, great book. Animal Farm is actually my favorite Orwellian book. Um, double speech is you name something something else that is just the opposite of. So a lot of these names you all see are not new to Project 2025. They have been a part of, it's like the Bolsheviks and the Mensheviks and the Russian Revolution, right? They named themselves the majority, even though they wasn't the majority at the time they named themselves. Or Department of Peace. Department of Peace is actually the Department of War. Things of that nature, right? But this is what gets me, right? Words and optics. We live in a country where words and optics are big. And that's what I want people to recognize about what has transpired over the weekend. Optics. A lot of you all are in your feelings instead of dealing with what is. And your feelings are going to fuck around and lose an election. Yep, don't be mad at the messenger, but your feelings are gonna fuck around and lose an election. What's up, Pirate King? I got about 3 more minutes on the radio. We're gonna keep this conversation going across my social media platforms, but I got to sign off on the radio. So if you're on GPCR listening to me on the network, if you want to hop over to one of my other social media platforms, I'm on my backup TikTok page. I'm on my YouTube channel. I'm on my Twitch. I'm on, might be on X. I don't know if I'm on X. Yeah, George, since Elon Musk decided to drop $45 million a month for the campaign. I'm on X also. I'm not on Instagram because I didn't feel like putting in the extra work today, but hop on over to the other platform and you can continue to join the conversation and we'll keep it going. As for everybody in GCPR land, I appreciate it, but we'll be signing off over there in about a minute. So we'll be signing off over there in about a minute, and you can come on over and continue the conversation, join the conversation on my other platforms, and we'll go for about another 30 minutes, and I'll be asking questions directly on those platforms. Okay, now, what's your X handle? My X handle, all my handles are like the same. They're the Savage Lokius or TNathan. I never knew that I was supposed to be hiding myself on social media, so I've always used my name. You can probably go on any social media if you can put in TNathan Lokius Fairly, my account will pack up, or you can put in the Savage Lokius and it's going to come up. So, but you can go to my beacon link and it's in my beacon link also on all my platforms. All right, and the beacon link, the GCPR link is also on my beacon link. If you ever want to just listen to me, but you might at work, you might have to put in the headphones, you can get it on the GCPR link, and we're working on the app, and you'll be able to hear the show even if you don't see the show. So do that for me. Give us a follow on the show. It helps our numbers over there also. All right. It's been so long since I've been seeing someone with a radio that I almost forgot what a radio is. It's also a live streaming. It's a radio live stream. Also, you can also listen to it on your phone wherever you are, even if you're not in Georgia. So, yeah, it also made I like being on the radio in Georgia because it gives me a reach out there into the election. So we got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. All right, I'm signing off on the radio. Thank you all for joining me over here, and I will see you all later. But we're continuing the conversation on my other platforms. Join us. Peace. All right, got that down. So let me see. I'm gonna take some direct questions and interact with some of my followers online. Okay, so if you have a question, want me to put it in there, let me know. Uh, but this is what we have to understand. I need people that look at what France did, right? The far right was poised to win an election in France and take over the prime minister. They were going to have the majority in parliament. All that was set to happen. They had won the first wave of elections, and they were about to win the second one. And you know what happened? The far left and the center said, you know what? We have to put aside our differences to make sure the far right does not gain control. And that is exactly what they did. That is exactly what happened. They also managed in that move, by doing it that way, they also managed to take seats away from the far right. Far right had a devastating loss. When they were on, see, that's some Machiavellian, Robert Greene, Sun Tzu type thinking, right? That's how you all have to get. And a lot of you all are not there. A lot of you all are pushing back against people like me because we're telling you all that, yeah, the way you all are trying to do this is not going to win. It's not going to work. We're telling you that from the base of the field. And you all are saying in your ideology and your elitism that, oh, yeah, this is going to work, and you think you're smarter than everybody in the room, instead of saying that I'm more committed towards winning than I am towards proving an irrelevant point at this time. And the far right and the center came together, and they kept the far left and the center came together and kept the far right out of power in France. In England, the Labour Party has not been in control for 14 years, and they came together and ousted the Conservative Party in England. Oh, okay. I'm looking at. I'm sorry. Learn more about election. Is there a learn more about election? Is there learn more about election banner in my lives online? I just seen it. I wonder if you all can see it also. All right, because it's got learn more about the U.S. elections. Click here. It was earlier. All right. All right. So those are the things that people are talking to me about. And I just think if we structure our arguments to meet the people where they are, because my thing isn't about you all who have dug in. I realize when I'm talking to one of you all instantly, because no matter what I say, you're dug into your position. So I don't care about you all being dug in to voting blue. I'm trying to reach the people who are not dug in to vote for either. And in this election coming up, if we don't do something, that is going to be a large block of people telling us that they're not voting for either candidate, and the party who needs those people to vote the most are not doing anything to reach them. Because historically, low voter turnout favors who? They did it by joining with far left. Right, Jazz. The center and the far left joined together in France, and they stopped the far right. And that the low voter turnout always favors Republicans. How do you think Mississippi has managed to keep with the largest voting block of black voters that they have gerrymandered and to a sense of voter depression? and have put every stumbling block in the way to easy access at the ballot, Republicans control Mississippi. Now let's talk about some other points I use when I'm talking to people to get them to understand how their vote matters in their everyday life. I point out the fact that if the Republican economic policies were so great, why are 9 out of the top 11 poorest states in the union red states? I will tell you. I did a video on it. You want to hear it? 9 out of as a matter of fact, I'm laughing, but I'm dead serious. I think I can let you hear that. I will pull that up video tomorrow because TikTok, I didn't like it. I got it banned on TikTok. I'm gonna put up another one. But 9 out of the 11 poorest states in the country are Republican-led states, and I can actually make an argument that 10 out of 11 are. But Georgia did vote blue in the last election. That's why Georgia's not on the list. That's why I let Georgia be one of the two. And New Mexico is the other one. But all those states in the South, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, on the list. Alaska, on the list. Mississippi has some of the poorest counties in the country, not just in the state, the country. All these the states that have the most public assistance. Anybody want to guess where the top 9 are? Top 9 states with the most public assistance are red states. And it's so funny to watch Republicans talk about assistance and cutting off assistance when they're really talking about cutting off assistance to their own citizens. Mississippi has done that after Brett Favre stole all the money from PPE. Mississippi has done that. Red states, blue states support red states. Overwhelmingly, yes. Y'all know I got stats. I'll pull up some stats for you. I don't know if I have them. Hold tight. Hold tight. I'll pull up. I think I'm trying to do this the easiest way. Let's see. I have my phone hooked up to my computer. Give me a moment. Dun, dun, dun. Open the file. Scroll down. Scroll. I had to go back to before. See what stats I want to show. All right. Y'all the 4 states. All right. Let's see. Um, find you drops. All right. Done. There we go. All right. Got that one up. Let's show it. And then we're gonna get rid of Tim Scott. Can you just think? Tim Scott. Tim Scott went and got married, right? I mean, got engaged. Just think, Tim Scott went and got engaged. And it doesn't help him at all. Oh, we got to get rid of JD Vance. I'm tired of looking at JD Vance. Anybody else tired? All right, Alec Baldwin's trial. Alec Baldwin got his charges dismissed. All right, here we go. Can y'all see that? Can you see my list? Can you see it there? Or do you need me to put it somewhere else? Let's see if we put it. Can y'all see that? I like it. I might put it in other place. because I want to see you all's comments also. Yeah, we'll put it over here, and I'll just do better with it. Let me move it up some. Give me a minute. All right. There we go. We're going to have to put it there. Thank you. That picture was giving me nightmares. Just look at where Republican politicians go to school. And here we are. Let's see, Mississippi, Louisiana, New Mexico. I think you got the same list I got, Charlotte. So, list of the United States with the highest poverty levels. And that would be these states: Mississippi, West Virginia, Arkansas. New Mexico is number 4. New Mexico is the first one on the list that is considered a blue state. Louisiana, Kentucky, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Georgia. Like I said, I would make an argument that Georgia is actually a red state, but hey, it voted blue in the last election, so they make it. But these are the list of states in the United States with the highest poverty rate. Mississippi #1, and Dad Cochran, Mississippi governor, was at the RNC tonight, and being a Mississippi native, um, now Iowa. You say Iowa? Iowa makes the one of the poorest states when it comes to personal. When it said medium income, personal medium income. It's one of the lowest, right? But Iowa also has a disproportionate white population, and they're disproportionate. One of Iowa's things is they have a disproportionate wealth access. All right, hold tight. I got another one for you. So those are the poorest states, and I want to see if I have a picture. I have one of the bottom of that. Dun, dun. I have so many. And I wasn't. All right. So let's do the states with the most dependency on federal funding. F, we call that list F1. And I'm going to download from my phone also the states with the least dependency on. Now understand that there are, we call that F2. F F2, where you at? F2. Yeah, there we go. All right, now let's close that and let's go here. So you see, these are the states. Why am I not shocked that Tennessee made the list? You shouldn't be. All those southern states that are in the red belt make the list. Iowa's in the middle. Yep. Now let's go. So we got that list. Pull up another list for you. This list, F1. These are the states. All right. These are out of the top 10. These are the states with the largest federal dependency, right? And we got, starting #2, West Virginia, Alaska, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, Arizona, and Montana. So out of the top 10, 7 of those with the largest dependency on federal aid are red states. Those are red states. And politicians are cannibalistic, like dunking Anheuser-Busch stock despite them funding GOP campaigns. Right. Right. That is so let's look at the inverse part. Let's look at the inverse part of this list. The F2. And these are of the 11 states, because they include the District of Columbia. These are the least dependent on federal aid. And out of these 12, 9 of them are blue states. Ohio, where J.D. Vance is from, Missouri, and Nebraska are the 3 red states in the lowest dependency on federal. So blue states support red states when it comes to federal spending. And then that was my first argument I made. So we talk about the finance of the Republicans don't even work for their states. Why do you think you're going to Housemaid? I've read The Handmaid's Tale, but I've never read the Housemaid books. So you see that this is my next argument is health. My next argument are people that live in blue states are healthier and have a longer life expectancy than people that live in red states. That's just statistically true because actually blue states have better access to health care than red states. Life expectancy is off by 2 points in red states, but Mississippi has the lowest life expectancy of any state in this union, and Hawaii has the largest. Has the largest. All right. And after we go from health, we go to education. Red states are the least educated states in the union. I don't know. There's no other way to break it down. Red states do not invest in much as blue states do in individual education needs and concerns. So that's what I talk to the people about. When they talk to me about because I asked them just why they voting for it, we enter into discussions, and then by the time we're over, even without telling them a candidate, I talk about local elections are paramount, and I talk about the issues where they are. Whatever issue they have a concern about, I am prepared to have a discussion on that issue. Healthcare is one of the main reasons people move to California and won't leave. And it's also one of the main reasons because California also has healthcare. And it has. I'm a firm believer in those who have to help those who have not. That's why I help those who have to be homeless. Even though I don't have a lot, I have more than they do. And even though we seldomly get help, we still have to help those. And because I can't talk about revolution and talk about how do we make this country a better place for all of us when I'm not willing to do my part because when people are hungry, all the idealisms you all have and want to talk about, and you're not helping people eat, it just seems like hypocritical to me. I remember one time in California, I snapped on people that were protesting with me. I snapped on them. We were there for a climate change convention at Soul to Soul. And there were homeless people all up and down the street where we were. And I was watching people step over homeless people like they were not even there. They weren't even there. I snapped. I snapped. I said, how you want me to be out here protesting with you all, and you all are stepping over people that you are thinking beneath you, literally. That's not how this works. We're fighting, if you're fighting with me, you're fighting to make the world a better place for everybody. If you're just fighting to be on television, if you're just fighting to look performative, because true advocacy, true revolution is about the people. And a lot of you all are not. I see that. I see that. So it is what it is. And these are the arguments you all have to start, the conversations you have to start having with people and remind them that, hey, we're still going to be fighting on November the 6th. But if we're not careful, we're going to be fighting a stronger enemy, and we need the weaker. And if we have a say in voting for our enemy, then we need to vote on the weaker enemy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing this because I have any great love for Joe Biden. I don't. I'm a product of the 1994 crime bill. I don't. But I also realize I can deal with fighting the Democratic Party easier than a united Republican Party, because then whew, it's going to be harder. Oh man. So JD Vance, you gonna call him the twin? Donald Trump doesn't like facial hair. That was also why I only had JD Vance ranked at number 2. That's why I had the governor of North Dakota ahead of him, because Donald Trump didn't like facial hair. But after the election, I mean after the assassination attempt, I knew something had changed. And Donald Trump is gonna look like, I'm just sorry. Y'all gotta, if you didn't see the Legion of Doom convention today when he walked out, I'm gonna have to find some footage to show you all. And then you got that proud to be American music and all that. Oh my goodness. Then you got this man talking like he a black minister and he not, he just sounding like one. And Donald Trump is walking out. I'm serious. They have set this up and staged it as a religious experience. And that is what terrifies me. That is what terrified me about the Legion of Doom convention today, that they were framing it as a religious experience. Zealots, zealots and cult members, and there's at least 71 million of them. And that's the part I think you all don't realize. It's 71 million of those, at least. That was last cycle. Now I know 4 years have given a lot of them of age to be a voting age, and they haven't shrunk like some people have. You don't want to see it, Olivia. I know you. You don't want to see it. But that's what we have. Since I had to put my own chair together because Metal Melter didn't come down and do it, but I did a good job. I did a good job, put it together. But that's what we have. And tomorrow night, join me again, and we're going to discuss more of what happens on day 2 of the Republican National Convention. Remember, if you're in a live with somebody and they're talking about politics at this point in time, and they tell you they didn't watch the Republican National Convention, leave, because they don't really know what's going on. Leave. I said it, and then people say, "Well, I know what's going on." No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you didn't experience, if you're going, and this is only for people who do commentary. I'm not talking about people, but if you're watching a live and you're listening to somebody talk about what the Republicans think or what they believe, and they have never watched. I watched Trump rallies. That's how I was watching the rally that was taking place in Butler. That's why I went live with it. I watch Trump rallies because I study my enemies. I study my enemies. And if you all are listening to people who don't study their enemies, take it with a grain of salt because they don't even know. I study my enemies and I talk to people. I model my activism and my advocacy and my revolutionary idealisms. People think they come from Malcolm and there's some Malcolm in them, but Fred Hampton, the chairman of the board, is where I actually take my lead from. That is the man that I have studied. That is the idealisms that I want to get across. Those are the things. When we talk, I want to say, how do we unite and dismantle the system that is greatly impacting marginalized groups? Fred Hampton was able to unite people that didn't even like each other because they didn't even know each other. They had believed what the system had said about everybody. That's why that's why you see me dismantling people on here about their talking points. Because at the end of the day, we either all gonna get through this or we all gonna die individually alone. You can't take enemies down without studying them first. There's a group of people who think you can't watch Fox without supporting their views. You're not gonna, right? You don't even know their views. How do you all think I come up with these clips so quick? Other people are talking. I come up with the clips because I wish I could show you. You see Bella? Yeah, can you, Bella? Y'all see Bella? I don't want to disturb. Y'all can see her like over there. That's her moving under the cash out. But most people don't understand that. So they're losing the battle and don't even know why. I don't talk about what I think people say. I can show you and back up what they're saying. And this in the Democrat and the Republican National Convention, whew, Donald Trump will not be the presumptive nominee. He is the nominee of the Republican National Convention, and this is his coronation. And I'm telling you all thought Democrats better be careful. Y'all might have a red wedding because the Republicans did this today. That's why they think. That's why they think that. They made this too to ignore. Sitting out isn't an option if you want change for the better. Why aren't the Dems out trying to get people registered and motivated registered voters to vote? Um, we are. I am. Well, I'm an independent, so I can't speak for them. But yeah, see, and this is what I mean. You all remember during President Obama's first campaign, it was linked with registering people to vote. That was the drive. Register the people to vote. When was the last time you saw Democrats have a voter registration on a federal level as part of their platform? Rock the vote, right? Black votes matter. All that came out of the Obama years. When have you seen lately the Democrats have a national platform to just register people to vote? Because the stats show that the people that register you to vote are the people that most influence your first vote. But no, they're in their echo chambers talking about. I was told not to say that anymore because they get mad when I talk about what they're talking about in their echo chambers. But they're spending more time talking in their echo chambers about their boogeyman than they are talking to the people, and then get mad at people when they point out the fact that nobody's talking to me about that. So online, social media, I guess a lot of you all are talking about this Project 2025 in the volunteers, shelters, and the food deficient. They're not. They're not. They're voting for the candidate who has the best optics on telling them they're going to address the needs they have. Right. Tell Bella and Pinky to be ready. They're coming to Miami with me for 2 weeks. I'm gonna tell you something. I am never going to be away from Bella again for 2 weeks. Yeah, a few hours is the tops. Yeah, a few hours. So let's not fall out. Let's not. You can have Pinky. You can take Pinky. You can take Pinky and just bring her back whenever you get tired. Yeah. But Bella, yeah, I'm not. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. You late, Fluffy. You late, Fluffy. Pinky gonna eat your books for saying that. Yeah, that's why they so high off the ground. Yeah, because Pinky one of my books. I'm gonna sell it to get some new books. I'm gonna sell Pinky and get some new books. Matter of fact, anybody got any books I haven't read? Yeah, I was short on money and I didn't get any new books for Sunday reading. But if anybody got any books they like to donate to the cause, I like all kinds of books. Be telling people if they're gonna get me Christmas gifts or gifts or any, buy me books or buy me. No, don't buy me books. Buy me like book cards and let me pick my own books. I'm taking Bella too. She's gonna have steak every day. Yeah, Bella, I will need. Yes, Metal. We need to put up more bookshelves anyway. We need to put up more bookshelves anyway. Gift cards for books. I am all down. Either gift cards for books if it's for me, but if you want to help me more, help people that need, I prefer Cash App. Metal will always help me with books. Metal and Ms. Metal, yeah, I don't care. I don't have. They don't even have to be. They could be. Long as it's something I haven't read, I will read it. And long as it has to do with revolution, history, or something like that, I'm on it. I'm on it. If you're down to B and E and to George R. Maplin's computer, we can read wins winner. Oh, okay. Yeah. Breaking and entering. We got it. Yeah. We got it. And you know what? That was the thing about Game of Thrones. I actually liked that it took some twists from the books because I had been read the books and because when he puts them out. So I know I didn't like the ending, but that's another story. That's another story altogether. All right, you all. Thank you all for this time. Like I say, I'm gonna let you all go. I have not slept for more than 4 hours since the assassination attempt on Donald Trump on Saturday. So I am going to, and I got to get some reading done. And let's say that I'm gonna go to sleep, but I'm probably not because you see this television on. I'm going to analyze everything that happened today at the Republican National Convention. So I'll probably drift off to sleep about 4 o'clock, and then I'll be up at about 7 anyway to start all over again. So I'll get some sleep after Friday. But because I got to bring this to you all, I got to break it down because I don't like talking about stuff and not knowing. Yeah, Fluffy, don't be late tomorrow. We're on this page, Fluffy, because I am banned on my main page, but you can catch me on when we're gonna do the radio show at 10. I'll be on the radio at 10, and then we'll have the after party and do afterwards if we need to go longer after 10 on all these platforms. All right. Thank you for joining me. Um, Cash App, if you want to help me help those who happen to be homeless. Um, yeah, and if you think about subscribing when my main page come back up, because I'm going to be doing things on for subscribers like contact information, reaching out, and we'll be doing things like that. We'll have first run movies when I'm having subscribers only, and we're gonna watch bootleg movies on my Twitch and on my TikTok stream until they throw me off again. All right, y'all have a good one. Do I look tired? I am a little tired.